In 1938, producer John Hammond wanted to feature him at Carnegie Hall, but found out he had just died. In 1961, Columbia Records released the King of the Delta Blues Singers, sparking the blues revival and securing his legacy. Eric Clapton, Bob Dylan, Keith Richards, Robert Plant all cite him as major influence, and the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame calls him perhaps the first ever rock star. Who is he? Today we discuss the life and death of Robert Johnson here on
Real Brave Live.
But first, if you're looking to learn guitar, please click below and you can get a free lesson with us. RealBraveAudio.com. Kevin, Brian.
Yo.
Robert Johnson. Kevin, what do you know about Robert Johnson?
The blues man.
Yes. What is he famous for?
The blues.
Okay. Brian?
Reportedly, he sold his soul to the devil at the crossroads.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that. Did you ever see Crossroads, the movie?
The Ralph Macchio vehicle?
Ralph Macchio.
With Steve Vai as the
Yeah.
devil?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about that, but I found this little blurb. There's a bunch of articles I got to read, or kind of skim, because I didn't have that much time to read. But I thought this is really interesting. The article starts like this. Is from the failing LA Times.
Wait. Don't start doing that.
Ellen Barry wrote this. Crystal Springs, Mississippi. Inside the pink brick estate he built with his blues fortune, 72-year-old Claude Johnson cannot shake the habits he formed when he was a poor man. 3 years after moving in, he still had more rooms than he had furniture. Creamy wall-to-wall stretches across the second floor was mostly empty. To tell the truth, he's not sure if his wife, Miss Ernestine, had ever gone up there. He keeps his finicky 25-year-old Mack gravel truck parked nearby and to keep an eye on through his living room window. He drove the truck, by his own estimate, 250,000 miles. Even as
1.25
million miles. Sorry. Even as the plants poke up around his chassis, it seems like the truck, not the blues nor the house, is the thing that matters to him. After Claude won his court battle in 1998 and was recognized as the son of blues music legend Robert Johnson, his lawyer handed him a 6-figure cashier's check and begged him to quit his hauling gravel job. Claude kept hauling gravel for 5 months. But this is the supposed son who woke up with basically $1 million of the royalties from Robert Johnson, who got famous after his death in the early 1930s. And I want to talk about his life. It's really interesting. I thought there was a lot of really good stuff in here. I'm sure you guys got to read it.
All of it.
All of it?
Every word.
Great. Johnson left no will. In 1998, the Mississippi Supreme Court ruled that Claude Johnson, a retired truck driver living in Crystal Springs, Mississippi, was the son of Robert Johnson, his only heir. The court heard that he'd been born to Virgie Jane Smith, who had a relationship with Robert Johnson in 1931. That's pretty cool. Claude Johnson died in 2015 at age 83, leaving 6 children.
Cause of death unknown.
Actually, there's a guess to what his cause of death is.
Poison.
Yes.
Yeah.
Rumored to be poisoned. But let's talk about the deal with the devil legend. There's a lot of this throughout history. Right? The deal. This is kind of like the. You were a major. What was your major again?
I have dual useless degrees in multimedia communication and theology.
In theology.
Yes.
In theology, aren't there references to deals with the devil over and over and over again in the Bible?
Yeah, I think that's a pretty common across like multiple religions and belief traditions. That's always sort of a temptation, right? That you. I mean, it's yeah. Answer your question in one word, yes.
Okay. How the rumor started. The legend finds its roots in Johnson's sudden, seemingly inexplicable transformation to a masterful guitarist. So this young man in the 1930s, Robert Johnson was by most accounts an unremarkable or even poor guitar player like Kevin. Blues contemporaries recall that Johnson would annoy listeners. You okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. Annoy listeners with his subpar playing. Right, Kevin?
Yes.
So much so that the juke joint crowd would beg older musicians to stop him. Bluesman Son House remembered people would complain about Johnson's lousy guitar playing and saying, why don't you go out and make that boy put that thing down? He running us crazy. That's a quote, by the way.
That wasn't, you didn't summarize that?
I did not. Eventually, the humiliated Johnson finally left the Delta entirely. And this is where it gets interesting. Months later, a year and a half by some accounts, he returned and stunned everyone. In Son House's words, the mediocre guitar player came back and played circles around everyone.
A couple of months?
It says a year and a half.
Oh, that's plenty of time.
Okay, let's get to that. Hold that. He made the guitar sing in ways that other musicians questioned what he had done and at what price to get so good so quickly, Kevin.
Yeah, a year and a half is plenty of time to master an instrument.
But this is the 1930s.
Well, I mean,
especially guitar.
There are some other factors at play here, right? Like if you're doing nothing else,
yeah,
then yes,
exactly.
But if he's working a job and just playing a little bit, I don't know if that's enough time to necessarily.
If you play an hour a day, be conservative, say an hour a day.
Mm-hmm.
After 400 days, you're playing. You're doing good. You're a good musician at that point. That's what is it? 10,000 hours you have to master something, right?
Which has been debunked. Malcolm Gladwell.
Yeah,
it's been debunked.
Is that really?
Yeah.
So he was also on Epstein's plane. So.
Oh.
We all want that list to come out. Come
yes.
on. For a time, Johnson disappeared from the local music scene. Months later, he returned, stunned everyone. Like I said, I'm reading this again. When Johnson came back from his absence, he'd mastered the guitar. This is where the rumors about his deal with the devil came from.
Also, I just want to jump in here. He mastered blues guitar.
What is the blues guitar, friend?
It's just something like.
Yeah, let's. I got a little ditty up here if you want to pull the music. To that, people were spreading rumors about the deal with the devil. But he did little to dispel the eerie aura around him. In fact, his original songs only fueled the fire. He sang of hellhounds on my trail, menacing blues, about even a song about meeting the devil. And a lot of his lyrics had kind of like that thing. But, going back to the theology, like this is the songs of poor folks living in Mississippi, coming up with reasons why life sucks. And the imagery from Catholicism and all that stuff would probably bring that up, right? Mr. Christ? Christ, go ahead.
Mr. Christ. I've been called many things in my life. Mr. Christ is the first. Put that on my business card. Brian Salvatore, Mr. Christ. Yeah, I mean, I also think that just the blues tradition was so new at that time that a lot of these things seem more commonplace now than they probably did then. Even the style of music. Like, if you don't know the history of it and you hear, I'm trying to think of a great modern blues player. Warren Haynes, let's say. Somebody who plays like I'm seeing the face from Kevin over here.
Don't care for Warren Haynes.
But as a blues player, I think he's fairly...
Yeah, he's fine.
Okay, sure.
He used the fine thing.
Okay.
What?
He's fine.
He's fine.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Continue.
I don't think Robert Johnson's playing would sound all that remarkable if you're used to modern blues. And the subject matter is now, we've heard a million blues songs written that way. At the time, it might have been more novel than it is now. I don't know.
Kevin?
Saying that he got his powers of playing guitar from the devil is like in the freaking Dark Ages when somebody would get the cold and a doctor would come with like the bird.
There's a demon in this boy.
They got the bird mask and they're like, oh, there's ghosts in your blood. Do cocaine, It'll be fine.
To be fair, this sounds like a fun night.
Yeah.
Some ghosts in my blood. Little toot, little booger sugar. It's a good time.
But early 20th century, how else would you explain something that you can't other than he must have practiced really hard for a long time. Oh no, he's possessed by the devil. That's all.
That would be
he sold his soul to
the reasonable thing. Decades later, the blues guitarist and historian Scott Ainsley explained that Son House was the one who made the offhand comment tying Johnson's talent to the devilish deal. In the book, the
it's
devil
also
made
probably
him do
something that you would say to kind of be a dick. Be like, this guy can't play guitar. He probably sold his soul to the devil.
Sure.
Like it's a put down for his talent.
And I wouldn't be surprised to learn that Johnson, having heard that, just leaned into it.
Oh,
and then,
yeah,
and then
it's a
was
good
like,
story.
oh yeah, it's
Absolutely.
from the devil. Check it
Look at me.
out. Led Zeppelin is an example of that, where Keith Moon told Jimmy Page, "Your new band's gonna go over like a lead balloon," and then that's where the name Led Zeppelin came from.
Yeah.
Didn't they have like the imagery of his eyes glowing and what was the song remains the same? Jimmy Page, right? His eyes are glowing at some point.
He was big into the Aleister Crowley
Yeah.
devil stuff.
Yeah.
And we have an episode on that. You should watch that. It's episode, I don't know.
wait. Viewer, it's episode. Have the editor just stick in there.
No, it's
Would be one.
Johnson never claimed to have met the devil, but legend was spread by him and others, basically. And then there was a story. Within blues circles, the tale of Johnson's midnight meeting at the crossroads at Highway 61 and 49 began to circulate. There's actually like a shrine there now, and it was steeped in moody hoodoo imagery, whatever that means. There's an article that Johnson did not do anything to stop the myth. And if anything, he perpetuated, like, to your point. He's like, yes. But then the pictures are kind of like spooky too. I remember the first time I saw a Robert Johnson picture, I was like, wow, that's kind of weird.
Yeah.
You know?
I used to have it got stolen once, but I had a painting of Robert Johnson by rather a print by R. Crumb, the like underground cartoonist of Robert Johnson. It was amazing. It got stolen. It sucks. But even the painting, with the picture rather, like when I hung it in my apartment, my girlfriend was like, "I don't like that. Can you take that down?" His eyes like follow me around the room. So yeah.
There's only 2 verified pictures of Robert Johnson.
3 according to my research.
They found the new one, Kev.
Yeah.
They found it just now.
Just now, breaking news.
Closet. They found the new one. Yeah.
Breaking news. By the 1960s, so he died, but by the 1960s, Johnson's rare 1936 to 1937 recordings were reissued on the album King of the Delta Blues Singers, sparking a blues revival. Have you ever like sat down? You must have like in listening in college, like in did they require that? Any of like the no?
No, none of my classes required that, but
okay.
I did. I own that record.
I was in a class called Jazz Epochs, Jazz History and Epochs, and it starts with like Scott Joplin, Maple Leaf Rag, but then, and like right after that comes the blues, and then you're in the blues unit for like 10, 15 years, 20 years before jazz starts to take hold, but it's interesting where the blues comes from and how its history shapes the music theory within it. If y'all don't mind, I'd be happy.
Go ahead, please.
So,
Does it have anything to do with Faust or Faustian?
Faust.
Faustian?
No.
Go ahead, please.
Oh, maybe it does. ChatGPT could probably draw a link. But no, the blues is a American black music, right? That's where it came from. It came from an amalgamation of slave song, African American spirituals, and some Western tonality things. Specifically, the interplay between major and minor. So, like, this is a major chord. That's happy in the Western world. This is a minor chord. That's sad.
Or lower.
Right.
Some people say lower. I find that interesting.
Yeah, the pitch of the third is lower. The blues is somewhere in between, right? Because they're making this music. By they, I mean early 20th century Black Americans. They're making this music. They're dealt a really shitty hand. They're black in early 20th century America, and especially in the South, it's just like a rough time.
They're sharecroppers. They're
I have a whole bit about that. I'd like to go into it, but please continue.
But the purpose of the purpose of where it came from, the slave song, is for them to keep rhythm in the fields, right? But also to bring up their mood to a degree, right? So, you know, you've got this sad situation that we're trying to inject a little bit of happiness in, and one of the hallmarks of blues is So I'm bending this note halfway between G and G sharp, the sad, the lower minor, and the happy, brighter, major. That's a blues thing. It's half sharp. It's G half sharp, right? And then you take it a step further and you say, all right, let's look at a chord progression in the 12-bar blues. I've got an E7 chord. It's got G sharp in it. On the next chord in the sequence, I have an A dominant 7, and that's got A G natural. So it's all about this interplay between happy and sad, dark and bright, that I think has shaped the music before it got completely stolen.
Sure.
By white people.
Yep.
What's that called?
Appropriation.
Appropriation. To your point, so the life of a sharecropper, most black men and many poor white families in Mississippi, a time were sharecroppers. You didn't own the land, you farmed someone else's, often a white landowners, and you paid your rent mostly with harvest. That means you're always in debt. Sounds like my life. Always behind, and always trapped, right, Brian?
Sure.
Okay. But you lived in a one-room shack, often without plumbing or insulation, like Kevin's house. Your tools were often handed down, broken, or rented in high interest, and your food, cornmeal, molasses, maybe pork fat if you were lucky. Gross. Very poor. It's such a different life. Diseases like hookworm, tuberculosis were common, and this is where the role of music in the church comes in, because we're in a world where brutality was common and choices were few, music in the church were lifelines. So spirituals, gospels, early blues were how they coped, resisted, and passed down stories. Learning music and then being able to put that together. We're talking in early 20th century.
Yeah.
We're not talking about the 1800s.
Right. No, yeah, it's post-Civil War, post-emancipation,
Post-Reconstruction.
pre-civil rights.
Yes.
Yeah, pre-civil rights, yeah. He was married at 17. He married a 14-year-old Virginia Travis in 1929. She died during childbirth. Excuse me. It devastated Johnson. Locals considered death punishment for his decision to play devil's music. Whoa! Is it considered devil's music? This stuff they were doing?
A lot of stuff that was not church music was considered devil music. Even white country music was considered that's devilish. You should not be dancing ever.
Sure. After Virginia's death, he became a wandering musician. What about the kid? What happened?
I think the kid didn't survive.
Was that kid the kid that I had led the podcast
I don't
off
think
with?
so.
Interesting. He traveled along Mississippi, Arkansas, Texas, even as far as New York and Canada. He was playing street corners, juke joints, and Saturday night dance halls. He was just your regular musician. I don't know if that's right, though. Anyway. But this recording, so let's put this back up again. Supposedly, I have his death certificate here.
Oh.
And it says 26 on the death certificate.
Well, is it like in Korea, where they count your first year as being 1?
I don't know if they changed that here. Could be the Korean standard.
That is how they calculate age in Korea. When you're newborn, you're 1 year old.
That makes sense.
Until you're 1 year old, and then you're 2.
Technically, you're 10 months old.
Age is just a number.
I'm
man.
just telling you. Check out the death certificate. It says he's a male. He's single.
Breaking news.
Black man.
You looking at his death certificate or his taxes?
He earned $20,000.
Single 0.
26 years old when he died. July 1938. I can't read the rest of it. This is the new gift of my life, is I can't read because I can't see.
It's a better reason to not be able to read than cognitive decline. It's like, oh, Dan's sundowning everybody.
But he's seen as a foundational figure in blues and rock history, and perhaps, like I started off with, the first ever rock star. Kevin.
Dan.
Brian.
Dan.
If you're interested in that and more, I'll try to post some links about his life and story. It's really interesting, especially when you get into like the son and then some of the people that are around him that wrote stories. There's a lot about Robert Johnson, I think, that hasn't been widely known. The only thing that we really know about him is he sold his soul to the devil, but that's more of a Faustian story than anything else, which throughout history implies sacrificing spiritual values for power, knowledge, and material gain. That's more religious than anything else.
I mean, Faust is not a religious story, but it's a very famous example of that. Yes.
Have you sold your soul to the devil too? You're a pretty good guitar player. Or you just play every single day for hours.
I do. That's my job.
That's probably what it is. That's what it is. Well,
devil wouldn't want my soul.
Yeah, my trade-in value is not great right now. So
it's below market value?
Yeah.
Okay. You're in over your head, my friend. We do have a game.
Yay!
So the title of the game's trivia, Devil or the Musician. Can you tell the difference between a guitar god and the Lord of Darkness? Brian, Mr. Christ?
Sure.
I feel like Brian has an unfair advantage.
Yeah.
As Mr. Christ?
Having studied theology and the music.
Yeah.
I've only studied music.
You should bring up that music again here, because we got my favorite song. Yeah, there it is. Can you tell the difference between a guitar god and the Lord of Darkness? Brian, are we ready to find out?
I am so ready to find out.
Do I have things? I do!
Whoa!
So many things. So I went to go buy this, and I was like, oh, you know what? I'll get a gift card. Get a gift card.
Yeah.
For $20.
Get a gift card.
Get a gift card for $20. And
a gift card?
A gift card.
Okay.
Gift card for $20. And I put it on the thing, and he scans it. He's like, $27. I said,
whoa! I
just want a gift card. He's like, I'm like, there's a fee? He's like, yes, it says it right on there, in a little small writing.
Let me see. Where does it say?
This is 15. So then I returned the gift card.
Oh.
I didn't get the gift card. Because then you could have gone to Dunkin'.
Oh, it was like a Visa gift card?
Yeah, or you could have bought, whatever. What could you buy with $20 now?
Drugs.
Yes, you sure can.
Always.
So the
Inflation
devil.
be damned.
Change of subject. The devil or the musician. Who's going first today, guys?
Let Kevin go first.
Oh, okay, Kevin going. I really want Brian to win. All right, we're gonna shut this off here. So it's you just got to answer it. You could steal. All right.
Sure.
If you want.
I don't know why you're looking at me like
Dirty thief. Go ahead.
You can steal, you asshole. Go ahead.
Question number 1. This figure was said to have been so skilled at the violin that audiences believed he was possessed. His long fingers. And wait a second. I also think, in order to get this right, you have to guess who it is.
The devil went down to Georgia.
He was looking for a soul to steal.
Yeah.
I would really like that.
Okay.
But the answer should be musician or devil.
Oh, okay.
Extra points if you guess who it is. How about that?
Okay, fine.
One extra point.
Okay, I can tally that. That's good.
All right, cool. 1 extra point. Here we go. The figure is said to have been so skilled at the violin that audiences believed that he was possessed. His long fingers and frenzied eyes only fueled the rumors. Kevin?
I say musician.
It is musician. And would you like to say who it is?
Is it Robert Johnson?
No?
Okay.
Paganini?
Oh, okay, really?
Yeah, that's a
Wow.
famous one. 19th century violinist rumored to have a deal with the devil. I remember that story. Do you?
Yeah,
Oh, no, you don't.
I do.
Question number 2. This entity was known for traveling with a fiddle made from a human femur and playing songs that caused madness.
That's the devil.
Oh, it sure is. In Eastern European folklore, demons and devils were said to have crafted.
And again, Charlie Daniels immortalized this in The Devil Went Down to Georgia.
Oh!
The classic song.
Very good.
Yeah.
I don't like that song. Kevin, this person claimed to have been taught to play guitar by a mentor who practiced in graveyards at midnight.
Who's a musician?
He's a musician. Robert Johnson's mentor, Ike Zimmerman, was rumored to have taught him guitar among tombstones. Brian, ready?
Sure, yeah.
This being is said to have once been
Being.
this entity, this being
This demonic creature has been.
This being is said to have once been the choir director in heaven.
Yeah, that's the devil, dude.
Yes, okay. Lucifer, before his fall, is traditionally considered to have been heaven's most gifted musician. Thank you, Mr. Christ. Kevin.
Dan.
This performer.
Well, let him finish.
Damn it.
That's good.
Shit.
I like this one.
Refused to play live unless facing the north, claiming all other directions brought unwanted attention.
So this is a musician.
Yes, it is. I made this one up.
What?
False. That's what it says. False. I made this one up. This is a trick question. Neither devil nor musician. This one is a gotcha. This is.
So what do I give him? No points or a point?
Give him the freaking point.
Okay, I hope so. Yes.
Yeah. All right.
We can say that the devil has never done this.
Yeah.
That you know of.
Yeah, that I know
You
of.
know of. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I will say also that Miles Davis would only face his band when playing.
Yes, that's true.
I don't know which cardinal direction his band was in relation to him. But
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
People didn't like that.
Well, yeah. I mean, they thought it was disrespectful to the audience
Because
but
he
was,
had his back to the audience?
Yeah, but he was just trying to groove better and harder jam.
Yeah,
with
that makes
other
sense to me.
musicians.
I would actually much prefer that, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Because then you could see what the drummer and the bass is
Yeah,
doing.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how you practice.
Yeah.
Right? You don't practice facing away from each other.
Right.
All right, I can't wait for this question.
I know. I'm looking at it because I want to make sure I can do this and screw you guys up. Should have read these questions. Huh?
Wait, you didn't write these questions?
I sure did.
The Mets are playing and I'm hungry. Come on, guys.
Let's go Mets, baby.
He went missing for over a year and returned with a level of skill that defied belief, causing musicians to suspect his supernatural invention.
This is a musician, and it's Robert Johnson, so I get 2 points for
Oh!
that.
Whoa! Question 7. We got 11 questions. This entity often appears at a crossroads to offer bargains, fame and fortune in exchange for eternal damnation.
It's the devil, and specifically Satan.
No.
Bonus point?
No.
Brian, question 8.
Yeah.
This person was believed to have eyes that turned red when they performed and could mimic any sound they heard.
I'm guessing that's a musician.
Steal.
Steal because you know the name of the person?
No.
He's correct.
No.
False legend.
I was going to say devil.
It's a 50-50 shot, right?
Right,
You
yeah.
might as well go for it.
Musician. Question 9. This
Who was that? Who was that supposed to be?
Whose eyes glowed red?
Tommy Johnson. I don't know.
It's relation to Robert Johnson?
No relation. This individual recorded 29 songs, but influenced generations of artists and was later called the first rock star.
Is it Robert Johnson? Yes, musician. Double point.
Yeah,
Double points. Are we tied? Look how easy this is, guys.
He went first, so he has more.
This individual is associated with music that causes hallucinations, frenzies, and seizures. Sometimes they say their rhythms can summon spirits.
That's a musician.
And it's not the right answer. It's the devil. In folklore, from Haiti to Europe, the devil or trickster spirits like Legba are tied to frenzied possession-inducing music.
Did you say Legba?
I said Legba. Legba.
Musical guest, Legba.
So this means that Kevin's ahead?
Kevin's ahead right now, yes.
I'm a Legba.
And your host.
All right. Well, you could steal.
Sure.
All right. I really didn't want you to win.
Let him win. I don't care.
You want to eat?
We buy each other coffee when we win.
Oh,
now.
that's cute,
our new
guys.
thing we do, so.
You guys spoon too.
Yes.
Every
Every night. It's love. Don't judge it.
Love at first. Blech. Question 11. This person once claimed that they could hear music coming from the trees and rivers, and that they were just translating it.
That's a Kevin question there.
That's a musician.
And who is it?
Oh.
Sun Ra, jazz
Oh, okay.
mystic
Oh,
and
okay.
pioneer of Afrofuturism.
Yeah. To quote Sun Ra, nuclear war is a motherfucker.
Oh, okay. Can we turn that music up? Kevin, you are the winner of 15 whole dollars at Starbucks, brought to you by Unions and Blue Hair. Please go ahead and go across the street, get yourself some caffeine. And you, fellow watcher, listener, you haven't gotten to this point. But please join us next week here on Real Brave Live.
Yeah.